Okay, so this is the finished design. I've just added a couple of ribs on it and more of a door shape on the front. You can't really see it from here, but there is like a door at the front now, and also the chimney has got a little bit of support. I've just added another bit in here just to keep this end up out of the way of the burner. It always was, because it was tied with this string here onto a button, but this just makes it a better shape, nice oval shape. Got a strap in here. Could be used as a tension strap. It doesn't need to be used as a tension strap. This whole thing is being held up by basically having 4 good posts. There was one paraclip used. Could easily have used natural materials, because it doesn't even really need that paraclip, but that would be right up there in the middle there. We've very much got a Guardians of the Galaxy Groot thing going on in here, where there's branches with little buds on, because there is a chance that when I pack this up, some of these could potentially, it's unlikely, but potentially grow on and have a little bit of a hazel plantation in this area. It only takes one of them to do it. But yeah, a couple of these little branches I might take off, because it doesn't need all those, and also make cuttings out of those. I'll show you more about cuttings in a future episode, but it's always good to leave more than when you take, is my general practice. So I had to take a few hazel branches from a well-established hazel bush, and the cuts were angular, so it would not really notice it. It's quite used to being attacked, and even cut right down, and it still grows back. But I only took a few from a very well-established hazel tree, bush, stroke, whatever. So I've got my fire blanket down. I don't know still what that can take, but I've made this whole thing super safe now. It's got everything off the ground, on bricks, so there's a brick layer, a steel plate, also that tray, and then the burner. So there's no way the heat is going to travel through to the blanket from there, so I've got no worries there. It's just the odd burning log, which doesn't happen, to be fair, with this. They don't get any falling logs, because I tend to cut the wood to size so it fits in. Generally I don't put feeder logs in, so I think that would be enough just to keep an eye on it, really, and just see what happens with it. But yeah, cautious at first. What else have we got here? The remnants of my clay oven, I've destroyed it because it basically reverted back to clay, really. I've now got a big pile of clay which is ready to be used again if I require. But no, I shall clear that up and move on. That was an interesting project, but you'd have to be here regularly to maintain it over winter, I think. But in the summer, who knows, might have another go at that, because it had a lot of potential. So now I'm just going to lay down my boat bed in the form of inflatable mattress and all the other little bits and pieces. That tension rope can also be used to dry out any of these blankets which might be a little bit damp or anything. It's like a washing line, possibly also something to garrot myself with, but we shall see. Also here I've made a chair. Back support is often a problem in tents, especially as you get older, so I've just whacked these in. They're in very, very deep, and yeah, it's going to be something to lean against, and then I can put my feet up over there somewhere, and that'll just be a little bit more comfy. Otherwise you have to lay down all the time or sit cross-legged, whereas you can lean back, take your weight off your legs. Hopefully that'll be a little bit more homely. The chimney is in there, and there's the outtake over there as well. I still need to put the intake in. I've got to get eating tins of beans and things like that, really, because I've run out of tins to do that. I guess there's other ways of doing it. But yeah, next step is to put my big, large plastic tarp, which is laid just over there, that silver thing, over this end of it, and that will also go over most of the other side of this as well, because the canvas doesn't quite reach. It'll go a bit more than what it is at the moment. You know, it 3/4 covers. 3/4 covers the tent basically, so just that side really, and round the back a little bit needs a cover, but I'll go a little bit further than that. I want to make a proper tunnel entrance. I have got these that I made months ago, but it's just a bit of boarding made out of goat willow, which is a bit of a useless bit of wood, to be fair, but it's good for making planks, and that's what I've done. I just made a plank platform so I can get in and out on my knees, put a nice soft pad on that. Lots of these pads, I love those pads. They're nothing to carry. There's a technique for carrying them flush to your back on the rucksack, so it just makes the back a little bit more comfortable, if anything, and you don't notice they're there, and they take no space up. So instead of having a big roll mat, cut them up to the same size, and they will actually just go like that against your back, nice and tightly, with the straps pulled, keeping them there. You could also tie them up together to make sure they don't become loose whilst they're on your back, squashed between you and your backpack. But I guess that's one of my little tips. They're just so handy for sitting on. You can move them around everywhere. They're also good for grip on my bedding. Also the hips, I like a little bit more on the hips, so I bung a couple of bits of that when I'm sleeping on the hips. So now I'm going to put the boat back in, sort my bedding out, put the tarp over, see if I need to add any more tarps. I've got this cheap tarp here, it's camouflaged, very cheap though. It's one of those crap plastic noisy things, and we've also got this little one which is a 2 metre by 2, I believe, which has got this autumn camouflage on, which is okay, I guess. It was cheap, but it does the job. I find I might need 2 layers of plastic on that side, because the wind is coming from this direction. Whilst the canvas is great wind protection, the plastic is not, and if you get the wind chill, I find that will go through the plastic and I'll wake up with a cold side. So I'm going to probably have 2 layers of tarp on this side for tonight, just to be more comfortable. Right, I'll keep you updated.